Hello everyone, welcome to the Ozark Outpost. This is Global War 85, Operation Skyhawk, Soviet Global Command 10.3. One bit of housekeeping from the NATO turn. I overlooked some unit placement. The minor army base upgrade went into Marmara along with an A-10 and two more field artillery. So there's that. Now tech. The Soviets have 5. PGM, advanced ASF, advanced sonar. They're still trying to complete on turn 10. Advanced manufacturing and advanced airborne. There's manufacturing, PGM, and is that good enough for some? Okay, they finally complete advanced sonar. So PGM goes to stage 3. Advanced sonar is complete. And what was that one? Advanced manufacturing goes to stage 3. Okay. Diplomacy. Putting the 2 free dice on Yemen and paying 2 IPP for 1 die for South Yemen. Okay, military aid purchase. Spending 9 for Warsaw Pact to complete the cruiser and to give them a fighter. And they're spending 9 more to give, let me make sure I say this right. 9 more to give Angola a fighter and a ground attack fighter. Okay, then for themselves, 6 battle stars on a minor airbase upgrade, 6 on a mech and an early gen MBT. We've got 16, I believe it's 16, or maybe it's 12. It might be 12. Yeah, on an MBT, an early gen MBT, and a fighter. That makes 12, yeah. 8 on 4 early gen MBTs and 20 on 2 MBTs and 2 fighters. Combat movement here in Africa. The airborne is going to attack Nigeria just as regular light infantry. 3 early gen fighters from northern Algeria fly 1, 2, 3 down here to support the attack against the lone Nigerian light infantry. And then up here, we're going to have the mother of all battles. This will actually be the 3rd battle of northern Germany. Soviet time. So, we have, what do we got? We got 2 cruisers and 2 destroyers, each shooting a cruise missile in here. No. We got, oh yeah, never mind. 2 cruisers and 2 destroyers. Each shoot a cruise missile in here. And then the joint air bases in East Germany and West Czechoslovakia each shoot one in there. So we're getting 6 cruise missiles shot in there. Okay, and then everything the Soviets have in Central Europe is attacking. and Scandinavia and the Baltic states. So we've got 3 early gen fighters that are going in, 4 ground attack fighters going in. From here in Gotaland, we have 3 air cabs and 2 attack choppers going in to make the attack, 1, 2. The backfire from Baltic States flies 1, 2 to get in there to carpet bomb. 2 fighters from Bavaria, 1 to get in there. And then the Soviet ground forces here in East Germany are going. The self-propelled will shoot chemical. That marker moved over there. And then the Soviet forces from Bavaria are coming up to join the attack. The self-propelled, again, will shoot chemical. There's 2 MBTs coming up and 2 attack choppers. Also from Gotaland, 3 Marines are getting on the amphibs that are in A12. A next-gen MBT is taking the open spot on the 2nd amphib so he can get in on the 2nd round. They go in amphibious assault. And 2 EGFs from Western Ukraine will fly 1, 2, 3, 4 to join the attack as well. Okay, so there's our combats. NATO, as they were going to do in the called off Warsaw Pact Strike, is going to do maximum scramble. So the 2 fighters from Rhineland scramble in along with the A-10. 2 of the 3 A-10s in Benelux scramble into the attack. And the NATO self-propelled artillery cannot use battlefield nukes against the Soviets. No. Never mind. So yeah, that's that. Just 2 combats. Okay, so let's do Nigeria first. Here's the airborne and 3 EGFs and the defending. There's no terrain, so you've got the airborne, 3 EGFs, and white is the defending Nigerian. Okay, the defending Nigerian gets a hit. One of the EGFs gets a hit. So, battle 1. It's a land battle star for the Soviet. And of course, they're going to have to kill one of the EGFs as their casualties, so the airborne remains to capture the zone. Soviet roundel on there. Okay, that's Soviets up 1 to 53. And now I will get the big battle moved over to the board. Okay, it's all set up. Yep, that's a lot of stuff. Okay, so the Soviets have 3 self-propelled artillery shooting chemical, 6 first strike, or 6 cruise missiles, and that's their first strike. And they are not going to use spy satellite here. they are going to do an ASAT attack as well. I just forgot about that until just now, so we'll do that after this. Then for first strike, NATO has a SAM, a self-propelled artillery, and 3 A-10s that get to do first strike in defense, because with the optional unit or expansion or whatever you want to call it, these are put into the ground attack fighter class. Then NATO has 4 fighters on air superiority. The Soviets have 2 fighters, and I think that's 5 EGFs on air superiority. They've got 4 attack choppers, so they can boost up to 8 eligible units with close air support. So that's 3 air cabs, 3 Marines, and 1 mech. Oh, and this guy, he's round 2. He's coming in as part of the amphibious assault. So the next gen MBT doesn't shoot until round 2. Okay, here we go. Oh, NATO. Boy, do they want to shoot missile defense or air defense? NATO's going to shoot NATO's going to shoot NATO's going to shoot missile defense. So here's their 3 AMD shots. They shoot down 2 of the cruise missiles. So 4 missiles instead of 6. But first off, we have... we can go ahead and do the cruise missiles first. Doesn't matter. So there is 1 first strike hit by a cruise missile. Okay, now we got 3 self-propelled artillery shooting chemical. Okay, we've got a disruption and 1 hit. So 1 first strike hit, and then the defending land units all have to take a disruption. So he's going to be 2 instead of 3. Okay. Now the NATO self-propelled artillery gets to defend. He misses. So no first strike hits for NATO. 2 for the Soviets. So naturally the Americans are going to choose the SAM and the artillery, or NATO's going to choose the SAM and the artillery. Okay, there's that. Now here we go. 5 EGFs on air superiority. And look at that. There's 3 hits. Who would have thunk that? And then there's 2 fighters on air superiority for a 4th hit. 4th hit. So that is 4 air battle stars for the Soviets for air superiority. Okay, now they've got an early gen MBT. Misses. At the backfire carpet bombing for 2 hits, believe it or not. 2 general hits. Okay, now there's a mech and 3 Marines at 4. It doesn't matter, none of them have target select. 2 more general hits. Take that to 4. Okay, now there's 3 MBTs for another general hit. All right, there we go. And a land target select. Here's that. Now there's 4 ground attack fighters for 1 hit, and if I remember correctly, yep, they get land target select at 4, so that's 2 land target selects now. All right, 3 air calves at 5. There's another general hit. Then we got 4 attack choppers for 2 more general hits. And as I said, that early gen MBT has to wait till round 2. Okay, so now NATO has 4 fighters on air superiority. And they get, I believe that is the 9. Yep, that's the 9. So they get 1 air hit. And 1 air battle star. All right, 4 MBTs hit 3 because of disruption. There's a general hit and a land target select. 1 general hit. 1 land target select. Attack chopper. That is that is a reactive armor land target select. Now, they can't do that right now because he's not on the board. So scratch that. That is just a regular land target select. And then the next gen MBT is a miss. Not very good. Okay, 2 land target selects by the attackers, but not reactive armor, so he's killing 2 MBTs. 2 land target selects by the defender. He's going to kill 2 air calves. Because air calves we have redesignated as land units, not air units. So there's that. Okay, 4 air hits for the attacker. And the attack chopper has to be chosen last. Well, I guess he doesn't have any choice. It's going to have to be the 3 A10s. And 1 of the fighters. Take that off. 1 air hit by the defender. They're of course going to take on an early gen fighter. Okay, now 8 general hits. That's enough to finish them off. There's 3, 5, 7 units remaining. They're wiped out. 1 general hit by the defender will be taken on the early gen MBT by the Soviets. Okay, so there's another land battle star for the Soviets. Northern Germany is worth 3. So the Soviets go up to 56. NATO goes down to 50. And let me put things back. Okay, I got all that cleared up. Now we have the ASAT attack. That is successful, so the American spy satellite is unusable on their upcoming turn. Okay, now we are non-combat movement. There's going to be some of that. Okay, from South Pakistan, an MBT comes over here to Hyderabad. From South Pakistan, one mech moves over to eastern Iran. From South Pakistan, an MBT and a next-gen MBT go to Shiraz. From New Delhi, using strategic land movement, 2 next-gen MBTs go 3 spaces over here to Shiraz. From Afghanistan, 2 next-gen MBTs and an MBT go 2 spaces to Shiraz. The fighter and the ground attack fighter from New Delhi fly 1, 2, 3, 4 over here to Basra. That one there is the Basra card. And then from Afghanistan, we got there 4 early gen fighters, another ground attack fighter, and a fighter are all flying 1, 2, 3 into Basra. So there isn't going to be, well, I don't know, chips, there might be enough room to get all them actually in Basra on the board. So there's 2 fighters there. And there'll be 4 early gen fighters. There we go. So there's the Basra card here. And then I'm going to have to go get it. The strategic bomber that is sitting in Volgograd is going to fly down to its new base of operations in Tehran. Get itself a little closer to the action. This fighter is going to fly itself down to Basra as well. 1, 2, 3. Okay, that's good there. Here in Africa, The early gen fighters only have enough range left to land in Niger. This MBT from northern Algeria moves over there to Morocco. Over here, these three next-gen MBTs, major port to major port, sea lift across the Baltic to western Poland. These four MBTs from Akershus move one space to Gotaland. These two early gen MBTs from western Ukraine will move one, two, three spaces into Bavaria. On the Bavarian card they go. And then we have to land the air from the Third Battle of Northern Germany. So the backfire is actually going to land in western Poland. The four EGFs, two of which only had one movement left, are landing here they're going to land in Bavaria. The two fighters are also going to land in Bavaria. Stand up there. And the four ground attack fighters will land in Bavaria. So I'm putting them on the Bavaria card. Okay, so there's the disposition on the board here. Here's the Bavarian card. And this is the Soviet card in northern Germany. Okay, I believe that's everything. All non-combat movement. Yes, we are very good. Okay, so let's get to placing some units. Everything picked up here. Alright, we've got a mech and an early gen MBT built here in Akershus to garrison there. Then we have an airbase upgrade in Belarus. 4 early gen MBTs in western Ukraine. Where was that again? Wait a minute. Okay, which one did I get wrong? All right, I gotta go look at my notes. Memory is failing me. Ah, okay, there we are. There we are. The 4 early gen MBTs don't go to Western Ukraine. An MBT, an early gen MBT, and a fighter is what goes to Western Ukraine. The 4 early gen MBTs go down here to Southern Caucasia. Now we're getting with it. And then two MBTs and 2 fighters go to Morocco. There we go. Okay, now deliver military aid. We have, remind myself what we have. A fighter and a ground attack fighter airlifting into, and that's a Soviet joint base, and they've completed advanced logistics so it can do 2 instead of 1. So a fighter and a ground attack fighter to Angola. Oh, in my combat resolution, I forgot to roll my diplomacy dice. Bad me. We're going to have to rectify that. We come up here to Warsaw Pact. The cruiser is delivered to the major shipyard here, A12, and the next gen MBT is delivered to East Germany. There's that. Okay, that's all military aid delivered. Now it's time to do some counting again. So, stuff with no worth. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hang on. I gotta do my diplomacy rolling. Yemen, South Yemen. Yes for South Yemen, no for Yemen. So, South Yemen joins the Soviet Union. Get these guys off here real quick. There's a fighter. And there's an early gen MBT. Okay, so do it again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 13, and then 2 for Shiraz is 15, 2 for Nigeria, yeah, 15. 2 for Nigeria is 17. What else might there be? Where's that? Anatolia's one makes 18. And looks like that's it. 18 on to 56 makes 74. That's a heap of money for a bunch of commies. 74, and that looks like 5 battle stars. Nope, that's 6 battle stars. Soviets made out pretty good this turn. And then there's their missile production. And there we are. Ozark Outpost. Over and out.